How's it going, everyone? I said I was going to go live. Here I am. My name is Nina. It's really spontaneous. And I just want to share a message with everyone. Um, a few things that have been on my chest that I think is important for other people to hear. If you're just joining in the chat, say hello, tell me where you're from. And I just want to talk about what it's like being a healer or an entrepreneur and how to maintain your value and continue to be able to continue to do this work, giving and receiving in balance. And so it's interesting when you set out on your journey working for yourself, you have to find this magical space in time that represents what we call our value. It's really hard sometimes to put a dollar amount on what your value is. Like, what is that? People ask us all the time, like, well, how do I value my time? Well, you can do it you can calculate it. How many hours did you go to school? How much money did you pay for school? What does it take for your overhead? That's one way of going about it. These are things that I actually teach about in my mentorship program. But also, really what it boils down to, according to your lifestyle, how what number feels good for you for the amount of time that you're putting in and for what you're giving out, for what you're receiving. Because when you think about an investment is not supposed to be just easy. It's an investment. You are paying some sort of sum into something that holds you accountable for what you're investing into. For example, when you go to school, going to school is not cheap. You have to make an investment. This investment holds you accountable physically, emotionally, and on all the levels so that you will keep going. If it's something that you pay for and it's not a big investment for you, then chances are you might waste that money unless you really value the education that you're getting from it. An investment can be emotional, an investment can be spiritual, an investment is also financial. And so these are things to think about when you work with someone. So, and it works both ways. Like one party has to invest their time and energy and wisdom and knowledge, and the other party has to invest their time and energy. And usually in a society, the most common form of this we use is money. Or sometimes if it's an equal and balanced exchange, then we barter. It doesn't always have to be money. But when you work as a healer, you have to do this thing called sacred reciprocity. This is like one of the first teachings that I share with people. The teaching of sacred reciprocity, because when you are in sacred reciprocity, this is actually the key to your prosperity. I have my cacao right here. And I always give the metaphor of, do you know the difference of abundance versus prosperity? Most people, they kind of confuse the two. Everyone has their own ideas, everyone has their own opinions. Well, for me, abundance is what you're receiving from the universe and your cup is overflowing. And that's what you're sharing, okay? And your prosperity, those are the feathers that you get from the universe. And you use these feathers, you need feathers to fly. So as long as you have enough feathers in your wings, you can fly. So you don't want to give out your feathers. You want to keep your feathers and share your abundance. And your prosperity is what allows you to fly. So your feathers are what allow you to fly. How do we keep this prosperity flowing? By giving and receiving in balance. For example, if someone helps you move your apartment, right? And you may not have a lot of money to help them move, but oftentimes you're like, hey, do you want a blender? Do you want this sofa? do you want these things that I cannot take with me? And you start giving, and then lo and behold, you start getting blessed up by the universe. The universe recognizes this because the universe just sees energy. If you give too much, or if you receive too much, the universe just sees an imbalance of either giving too much or receiving too much. So, what's going to happen? The universe is going to seek to rebalance this energy, and it's going to indiscriminately rebalance this energy. So, this is why it's also important for us to learn how to give and receive in balance, because we don't want the universe to indiscriminately rebalance us out. That's when weird things happens, when you receive too much and then all of a sudden something just gets taken from you and you're just like, what happened? Oh, looks like my connection's unstable. Oh, okay. If you have you received a lot? How are you giving back? How are you restabilizing this energy? When you stabilize this energy, this flow, this electricity, that's your prosperity. And when things are not flowing, it's time for you to start giving. Hi, how's it going, Jennifer? Long time no see. Great to hear from you. How are you giving and receiving? Are you asking for more than what you're actually giving?